What's poppin', guys? Welcome back to Sand Talk Sports. Wow, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots game tonight. Man, the Buffalo Bills are legit. I mean, they completely dominated the Patriots from the first quarter onwards. It was a blowout, and I'm just so shocked at how they were able to, play throughout this game so consistently. Great defense, great offense. It was even a close game, and huge shout out to Josh Allen. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this league for many years to come. I mean, he had more touchdowns than incompletions. 5-4. 5 touchdowns, 4 incompletions. That's a wild stat. And let's take a little bit of a deeper dive at the box score. I feel for Mac Jones because I think he had a really solid game. Yeah, despite the 2 interceptions, his receivers dropped lots of passes. And even the first interception, when Hyde came out of nowhere to, get that interception in the end zone, I think that was a huge turning point in the game, because if the Patriots scored that touchdown, they're right back in the game. So overall, I think Mac Jones has a really promising future. I think that it was great for him to kind of experience the playoffs, learning that the playoffs is a different environment, it's a different animal. And Josh Allen, he's been through the tough times, the deep waters in the playoffs, losing in the past couple of years. So I think he's really well equipped this year to bring the Bills further on the playoffs. Dare I say, I feel like they might be Super Bowl contenders. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I think they will make it out to the AFC, even as a 3rd seed. I've seen enough throughout the whole season and this game. I'll take a deeper dive into why I think this is the case real soon. But let's continue diving, looking deeper into the box score. Rushing stats, dominant rushing by the Buffalo Bills. 6 average yards per carry. Devin Singletary, solid. And Josh Allen, man, his legs has been elite this whole year. And he's always been able to extend drives, get those crucial first downs to kind of demoralize the opponent's defense. And in the first 2 matches between the Patriots and the Bills, the Patriots defense held strong. But this game, I felt like they just broke, and once they broke, the Bills took advantage, and it was just never ending. But once again, I gotta give a huge shout out to the Patriots this whole season. I think they learned a lot. Bill Belichick, he will make the adjustments. This team will grow. This team will always be back in the playoffs in the next few years. They're going to be a consistent team. So I'm not too worried about the Patriots. This was a great learning experience for them. And one thing I was quite surprised at this game is no sacks for Josh Allen. I mean, huge shout out to the Bills defense. I feel like they have been really, really underrated this whole year. And even in the game of football, I feel like offense is always more exciting. People usually check out the offensive stats more. Even in the box score, the passing, the rushing, the receiving stats are always top 3. But the Bills defense, they've been so consistent all year. 17 points allowed to the Patriots. And if you look closer, let me go to the Buffalo Bills. Shout out ESPN once again. I love ESPN to look at all the scores, all the stats. Like I mentioned in the previous video, points against, exactly 17 points. That's first in the NFL. So put some respect on the Buffalo Bills defense this year, man. I think that people don't realize just how elite this defense is and how amazing their offense is as well. 3rd in points for at 28.4. And honestly, like I mentioned before, it was never close. The Bills, they were leading 27-3 by halftime, and the rest was kind of garbage time, and the Buffalo Bills continued to play hard, played solid. I think their first 7 drives resulted in touchdowns in each and every single one of them. Incredible, huge shout out to them. And I mean, 482 yards, 8.9 yards per play by the Bills. This was a complete performance by them. I was so impressed. And like I mentioned before, let's take a look at the brackets. I believe that the Chiefs will move on, so it's going to be a really agonizing matchup, because honestly, in the AFC, and with the 4 teams that moves on, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Kansas City, and Tennessee, I feel like the 2 best teams will be playing in the next round in the divisional playoffs, and that would be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. These two teams are definitely my top two teams in the AFC, and I think Tennessee and Cincinnati, they're kind of lucky because one team will guaranteed to be in the AFC Championship if the Kansas City Chiefs will be able to move on tomorrow. And so if the matchup is Kansas City versus Buffalo, I think that will be the game of the playoffs. Kansas City, they've been such a great solid team over the years. I mean, let's take a look at the seasons because I think it's really important, especially in the playoffs, looking at how the team got here. You know, playoff is all about playoff experience, and look at this, man. The Chiefs has made the playoffs every single year since 2015. That's 7 consecutive years. Obviously, they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they lost to the Buccaneers last year. So I am going to go and say that the Buffalo Bills will beat the Chiefs should they meet in the next round. I know it's definitely a bold prediction given the tremendous amount of success that the Chiefs has experienced. 6 straight divisional titles, back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. But let's put some respect on the Buffalo Bills, man. Ever since Sean McDermott took over, this has been a really up-and-coming team. Defense has been real solid for them throughout the years. And even last year, I remember watching that Chiefs game, and I was like, man, the Bills are almost there. They're almost able to go over the hump. And I believe that this is the year for them, man. They're gonna obviously have to play on the road against the Chiefs, which is going to be tough because Arrowhead Stadium, we all know how hostile that environment is. And the Chiefs are 7-2 at home, but the Chiefs also has a plus 116 point differential. But man, I got the Bills plus 194. If you account for this game, that's another plus 30. That's plus 224 in terms of point differential, and I love that stat. I think that's a very accurate stat to judge whether a team is really good, especially in the playoffs. And if you look at the rest of the teams, even in the NFC, which I haven't covered that much, nobody comes close to 224. So Bills will beat the Chiefs. You heard it here first. I believe that the Buffalo Bills are Super Bowl bound. And yeah, thanks for watching this breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.